What's up, football fans? It's time for picks and predictions for the NFL 2023 to the 2024, nearly 2024 season. And it's week 15 and 16 because, of course, we've been very busy right now. And we did not get a chance to give you guys a video depicting our picks for week number 15. And we're already late on our Thursday night game to be picking for week number 16. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically do the same thing we would always do. We're going to recap what we did pick on week 15 and then jump just straight into our picks and predictions for week number 16. All right. So apologies once again. You know, I burnt my hand. There was decorating. There was painting. There was a lot. There was power outages. There was so much going on the last, week and a half here. So, but anyways, we're here. I'm just trying to get caught up right now. So let's just jump right in. So quick interruption right here already. I know that over here we have a different sort of layout for the home and away, like what I picked, the picks and predictions graphic. It's because it was far easier just to screenshot from my pool and stuff like that. I know it's a little blurry and such, and but I'm really pressed for time right now, and usually this takes me about 20-25 minutes to make each week sort of idea. So apologies for that. Just wanted to say that I'm hoping I prefer my own graphic that I make myself, so I'm hoping to get back to that for the last of the year here, the last few weeks. But here for this video, where we're already compressing 2 weeks into one, we're pressed for time. I just wanted to explain why we're doing a quick screenshot that's kind of blurry right here for the graphic. So apologies for that, but let's move on to the picks and predictions. Right out of the gate, we picked the Chargers on Thursday Night Football because the Raiders scored 0 points last week. The Raiders suck. Apparently, the Chargers suck worse. So right out of the gate, we lose the Thursday night pick, right? Well, that is very unfortunate. Then we do okay for the next two games. We picked Cincinnati over Minnesota, though it's a close game. It was in Cincinnati. We gave them the 3 points, and they did win. We also picked Indianapolis at home to beat up on Pittsburgh, but once again, the home field advantage wasn't the only deciding factor. Probably would have picked Indianapolis even if they were in Pittsburgh, and they won. Here is where I'm throwing a few extra Hail Marys, because once again, I cannot catch the leader at this point, or it's very unlikely for me to get into the top 5 to make any real money. So I'm doing a few Hail Marys. My first one, of course, being the Chargers. That didn't work out. My second one being Denver Broncos over Detroit, because Detroit wasn't looking so hot. And once again, blown out completely. So 0 for 2 on my Hail Mary attempts to try to win a week. I'm just trying to win my $50 to get the week, right? And it's not working out, right? Obviously, I thought, granted, I didn't think that the Vegas Chargers game was going to be a blowout like that. I didn't really know who would win. I thought that was a coin toss. I thought Detroit would win, but on the off chance Denver would win, I gave it to them. And obviously, they got blown out as well. Then I went with Cleveland at home to beat Chicago, and that 3-point advantage, once again, that 3-point advantage now once but twice this week has told me, okay, there we go, and I get another point. I picked Green Bay at home for the same reason, because so many people were picking Tampa Bay, and yet somehow that one I lost. I don't get it, because then I looked back and I thought, okay, Green Bay's the favorite there at home, or Tampa Bay's the favorite, and Green Bay's at home, though, and Lambeau Field and all that stuff. And then I look back, and apparently, no, Green Bay was the favorite, not Tampa Bay. So, once again, I thought me picking Green Bay was my Hail Mary, and it wasn't. So, clearly, I've been so busy, I haven't been paying attention, you know what I mean? So, I probably confused myself with that sentence, but either way, yeah, and then I do go with Houston over Tennessee as my fourth Hail Mary pick. Finally, 1 and 3. Finally, 1 and 3 right there for Hail Mary picks. Houston beat Tennessee. Most people picked Tennessee, so that was a good call. Then I go a little more safe. I go with Kansas City and Miami to beat up on both the Jets and the Patriots respectively in the AFC. Then we jump over and I said, you know what? Fuck New Orleans. I've been saying fuck New Orleans this entire damn year, and apparently not. The Giants couldn't capitalize. I know the Giants are terrible, even worse than New Orleans, but I thought it's the end of the season. What did we have to lose? And nope. So now I'm 1 for 4 of my Hail Mary attempts. And Atlanta loses by 2 points. That was not a Hail Mary attempt. That was just, I picked Atlanta. Most people did, and Carolina ended up winning. It is what it is. Though I clean up later, I got the Rams picked over Washington. They win. San Francisco obviously beating up on Arizona. Though Arizona nearly scoring 30 points. I mean, good for them. We'll talk about the next game in a second. I just want to say that then Baltimore beats up on Jacksonville. A lot of people picked Jacksonville. That was a lot of people's one Hail Mary. Most people picked the favorite column and then went with Jacksonville. And I don't know why. Baltimore is always good for about 30 plus points. Granted, they did not score 30 plus points, but still 23-7. They still dominated, so it is what it is. And then, boom, Monday Night Football. Everyone said the Eagles. And this cat, believing in Pete Carroll and the Seahawks, said the Eagles aren't that great. They are not a top 5 team. They are a top 10 team, but their luck has finally run out. We've seen it now time and time again over the past 3 weeks, over this month, and boom, Seattle manages. Seattle beats Philadelphia 20-17. Perfect. Love to see it. Then that other game. Okay. I picked the Cowboys. Go Cowboys. They lost. And they lost big. And overall, we played an okay game. Not a great game. Buffalo played a great game. However, I will say, I haven't seen something so scripted since the second half of Atlanta Patriots Super Bowl in my goddamn life. If you are going to call every little thing, and blatantly the TV announcers in the booth are going to constantly show the best defensive player of the year, Micah Parsons, being held blatantly every play for 3 quarters, every defensive play, and not call it, well, I just am going to leave you guys with the argument that if Tom Brady got roughing the passer not called every play, he wouldn't have the rings he's got. Because if you don't call penalties time and time again, every single down on the greatest player on the field, what do you expect that team to do? That is my question. And I'm just going to leave it at that. As I said, Buffalo played for a team that was very struggling. I have no grievance against Buffalo. They played quite well, and they played better than the Cowboys, 100%. And they also showed a weakness of the Cowboys defense. The Cowboys defense has been lauded up as one of the best in the league for multiple seasons, and we are. It's true. But we do have our weaknesses, just like any team. And one of them is multiple run plays. We can't stop the diverse run play. Clearly, we cannot do that. And they ran all over us. Josh Allen did not throw the ball very much. You know what I'm saying? Like that was not because he has a great arm. That is not what won Buffalo that game. So there's things definitely to work on and stuff like that. However, were this an honest game, the Cowboys probably still would have lost. However, it would have been a one-possession game loss. Not the beating that everybody saw, in my opinion. So, I mean, and I won't get into the details of other on the offensive calls. Won't get into the bullshittery that went there. I'm just saying that anybody, an unbiased fan, somebody who doesn't hate the Cowboys and doesn't love the Bills, can go into that and say, yeah, what billionaire called the NFL commissioner and said, I got money on this game in Vegas, sitting at the casino table. You know what I mean? Like, it did not look like either team. And the ref squad, remember when the refs went on strike and Green Bay lost to like 3 games in a row to the worst calls because they brought up the college refs because they didn't have actual professional refs. They brought up the college refs and they were the worst calls in history and we had to live with that. I'm not a Packers fan, but holy shit, as a football fan, I was pissed off for Packers fans when that happened. Same deal here. So that's my spiel for week 15. This is going to be an extra long video, of course, but there's my recap for week 15. Let's just move on to week 16 for our picks and predictions, which the Thursday night game is already underway. Alright, so now we're jumping into week 16, finally getting caught up here, and we pick in the Rams. We pick the Rams over New Orleans, because once again, what have I told you guys? Have you seen me pick the Saints very often? No. Do you know that I've got a little bit of a love story with the Rams? Of course I do. My wife's from LA and stuff like that, and I've always had a spot. When they were in St. Louis, I liked the Rams, I love my NFC teams, and actually, when Drew Brees was on New Orleans, I really like New Orleans. I have a New Orleans Saints hat, an official $30 NFL hat and stuff like that, So these are two teams, but I don't like Derek Carr. In fact, I hate that guy. And the Saints are weasels right now. They feel like weasels. They feel like Philadelphia Flyers sort of players. You know what I mean? I don't like the look of the Saints anymore. I don't like their team. I don't like their players. I don't like their coach. I don't like anything about the Saints anymore. 5 years ago, I loved them. They were one of my favorite teams. Now, no. I don't like the direction. I'm just not on board. I will always be a Cowboys fan, but of course I have my secondary team, my third team, and stuff like that, and I'm happy to see win. I was happy to see the Rams win the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? Good for Matt Stafford, stuff like that. But yeah, the Saints aren't my deal anymore, and I really do hate when I pick them, and then, I pick them only 3-4 times a year, and it seems like my luck with them, I always lose on my picks, so I'm always pissed off at that. Either way, we went with the Rams, and last time I checked, the Rams were winning 7-0. It's still only the first quarter or something like that. So anyways, last time I checked. So, and now we're going into the Saturday picks. We have got a couple of Saturday games here. We're going with Cincinnati over Pittsburgh. Even though Pittsburgh is at home, I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's one possession game, but I'm going with the Bengals on that one. Pittsburgh still isn't that strong, but this will probably bite me in the ass. Then Buffalo is feeling good after winning a scripted game over the Cowboys, but still, them as a team outside of the politics of the NFL, they actually look pretty good. They saw the holes in the Dallas defense and stuff like that. They made plays where it counts. Their defense held up against a rather talented offense, and regardless of bad refereeing, Buffalo looked like they finally are back on track. Like at the beginning of the season, we knew that Buffalo was going to be a top 5 team. Everyone said they were a top 5, top 3 team, and they didn't prove that for most of the season. But it seems like they're coming on strong here at the end of the season, so let's go. And the Chargers, well, I'm sorry, Chargers. You shit the bed against a fucking team that had 0 goddamn points the week before. I don't care. Chargers, you suck. Go Buffalo all day, every day. Then we're picking the Colts over Atlanta. The Falcons are at home, but once again, the Falcons, I mean, look at last week. I mean, it's so hard to pick the beginning of the year and the end of the year, because at the end of the year, teams are just looking to see, are we going to go for draft picks or are we going for a playoff spot? You know what I mean? Or do we just want to win with a record? Do coaches want to keep their jobs? That kind of idea. Because I'm pretty sure, didn't a head coach lose their job? Was it Jacksonville? Somebody lost their job like last week or something like that. Anyways, head coach lost a job where they were convinced that they were fine and they were going to keep it, but apparently not. Or was it the Chargers coach? Was it actually the Chargers head coach? Either way, yeah. Something like that happened. But anyways, I'm picking the Seahawks over Tennessee, even at home, because Seattle beat the Eagles. Granted, I have never had faith in the Eagles. The Eagles' record is bloated. The Eagles' record shows a better team than what they are. They're not as good as the 49ers. They're not as good as the Cowboys. They are not as good as Kansas City. They are not as good as the Bills. They're a top 10 team. They're not a top 5 team. They really aren't. Their record is bloated. They have very lucky calls, lucky bounces, a lot of luck. They have talent on the team, don't get me wrong. They are a contender, but they are not the be-all and end-all like everybody's been praising. Everybody's been saying that this is the new era. They're going to start a dynasty. They are so fucking good. They can't be beat. And I'm just sitting there like, no. Like, actually watch these games. The fact that Washington keeps them to a one-score game the entire game, both matchup, like, are you watching this? Are you literally watching this, you know? Like, I don't say, like, the Cowboys, as a Cowboys fan, I don't say, we're number one, we're the best team, nobody can beat us, blah, blah, blah. Like, I still think we're a contender to win it all, but I also don't say, yes, we are undisputed the number one team either. I don't do that. In all honesty, if I had to guess, I would say that the San Francisco 49ers are the best team in the league, and I've been saying that this whole time. I've been saying that since, like, week 3. So, I don't get it. Is it just there's a shit ton of Philly fans or something? But their record, like, it's like non-football fans see the record and then they go with that number. It's weird. But yeah, Seattle Seahawks over Tennessee. Then Detroit Lions over Minnesota. This is another, like, I'm trying to win a week here, so I'm going with a couple of against the favorite, trying to do something here. But as far as Minnesota's concerned, no, Detroit really, they screwed me on my Hail Mary last week. I'm not going to pick against them 2 weeks in a row, so there we go with that one. I think Cincinnati is kind of more of a Hail Mary, but maybe not really. I don't know. I'm picking Washington over the Jets in the next game. Then Green Bay over Carolina, even though Carolina won, but we know what they were facing Atlanta, so is what it is. Cleveland over Houston. That's really a coin toss of a game. Normally I would pick Houston, but as I've got a soft spot for both teams, but I don't know. I really don't know. I honestly just said, what do I want to pick? And it was the first thing I clicked, in all honesty. That pick could change easily, is what it is. I picked Jacksonville to beat up on Tampa Bay. I don't know what the odds of that game are specifically, but I did go with the Jaguars on that. I went Chicago over Arizona because they're at home. Might lose out on that one, but it is what it is. Dallas is definitely going to be coming on strong and on fire up against Miami, which you could argue, Buffalo, Miami, who's the best team in that division right now? It's clearly not the Patriots or the Jets, so who you have? Originally, everyone would have said the Bills, but the Bills had a huge slump. Miami never really slumped. They never did great, but they never did poorly, and they've been sitting there coasting. They're looking pretty good. So Miami's a strong team. They're a strong schedule ahead of the Dallas Cowboys, but I still have Dallas. Dallas is probably embarrassed by that. And once again, just like with the Arizona loss where, we lose these very weird, the games that look so scripted, it's hard to believe that this sport isn't fixed. And then next week they'll come out and they will beat up on a much better team. It's strange to me. It's strange. I don't think that every player on a team with 2 different lineups all have an off week all at once. You know what I mean? I just don't buy that. I can buy it in golf, a single man sport. I can't buy it on teams with rosters that have over 20 plus players. I just don't buy it, So, anyways, I'm picking Dallas over Miami even at home. Denver over New England. No problem picking them there. Then Kansas City over Vegas. Philadelphia over the Giants. I have faith that the Cowboys are still the better team in their division, but Giants absolutely suck. I gave them a chance last week, and the Eagles might not be the best team in the league, but they certainly are far better than the Giants. The Eagles are going to dominate that, or they should. And then this is going to be such a strong game. 3 Monday night matchups. I don't like this multiple Monday night shit. I never have. But Monday night, we have San Francisco. Baltimore. Wow. Well, I mean, Baltimore's coming to San Francisco, but still, for Monday night. Now, granted, that is Christmas Day. So, I think the whole Monday night thing does screw that up, because I'm pretty sure we get multiple. I don't think it works out that way. The NFL is weird when it comes to Christmas and stuff, because Dallas is playing on Christmas Eve, and my brother always says, like, you're waiting for Dallas to disappoint us on Christmas Eve? Are you? So I'm pretty sure Dallas is playing Christmas Eve there and stuff like that. But my dates are all screwed up, so God knows. But I'm pretty sure Monday night is Christmas Day. So, yeah. That one's probably the hardest pick because Baltimore is going to come on strong. Baltimore is probably one of, if not the strongest AFC contender to beat San Francisco. It's either them or Kansas. It's either them or Kansas. So, yeah. Either way, those are my picks for week number 16 of the NFL. And now we got the double done. How long is this video? Is it over half an hour? Oh, it's less than half an hour. Perfect. Okay, I didn't ramble too much. Perfect. That's excellent. So we got the double vid done in one video. Thankfully, now we're all caught up with the NFL. We should be able to make the week 17 picks on time next week and stuff like that, because the Christmas hoopla should be all taken care of and such. And this is just me trying to catch up on my videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and apologies for obviously not making the week 15 video and stuff, but I've made it now. I told you guys what games I won, what games I lost, and stuff like that. And now we're into the week 16 picks and predictions, which the only game that's ongoing right now as the time of this recording is the Thursday night game, because obviously this is being recorded late on Thursday night. So yeah, that is what it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. And we'll see all you football fans back here after the holiday season. Merry Christmas. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.